Hello and welcome back to Broadside Gaming with me, Zug. So today, as you can see, the new Penance system is now in Darktide. I thought I'd start off here, as if you are an old hat at Darktide, you will probably log into something like this, where you are inundated with penances, which is nice. They've made it all retroactive, so you would have completed a lot of these. So we're just going to go through this, and then we'll take a look at some of the new stuff. And we'll just grab all these. There's quite a lot. The system's a little bit... Well, it's just because we haven't used it before, so it's a bit weird. There we go, there's one of the new outfits. Restore 7,500 toughness to yourself using voice of command. Nice. And there's just a load. We'll have a look at these properly in a minute, and we'll go through the patch notes. I'm just having a look at this stuff first to see what else I need to actually collect before I can look at things. I think that's everything. Oh, and they've got like a Diablo-esque system down here. If you know the Diablo system for the seasons, this is kind of how it goes with them. It seems there's lots and lots of things to claim. But yeah, we will go through all the patch notes. Actually, we'll do that now, because there's so much stuff. So, as you can see, you'll log in here, and the new Penance lady is here. So, what exactly have they given us here? Well, let's have a look. So, we'll go through the patch notes, and then we'll have a look around a bit more. The screen where penances were collected has been replaced with the new overhauled and extended menu composed of 3 main elements. Okay, so that menu takes you straight to there. That's funky. Similar to how the old screen held a list of penances players could complete, the new screen holds all previous and new penances in one place. It divides the different penances into 10 categories, many of which players will recognise from the old menu, but also some new ones. The old offensive, defensive and team categories have been condensed into the new tactical category. The regular and redacted class-specific penances have been merged together. When browsing the screen, players can select between 2 display modes. The first is a grid that shows penances as smaller badges with the icons, and is meant to serve as an overview of the total progression the players have obtained. The second is a more classic list view with the 2 columns that will sort in progress penances first and place blah blah blah. So there's the new one, or you can have it as the default menu, however you fancy it. So I'm not sure how you actually change it. Oh, there you go. Some sort of grid overview, I see. Oh, Grid Master of War. And then you've got the tactical ones, the heretical, general missions, Chasm Terminus. Oh, so these must be the new ones. And the endeavors. So I guess these ones aren't retroactive here. Okay, so that makes sense. The recommended penances. When players first access the Shrine Pentatax, they will be met with a revolving list of penances that show their completed penances with rewards they have not yet claimed, penances they are tracking, and suggested penances based on the completion rate. The Path of Redemption. On the lower end of the menu... Let's have a look at the menu again. On the lower end of the menu, players will discover the new Path of Redemption track. Here you can unlock... That's this thing. Here you can unlock a variety of rewards based on the total number of penance points they have gathered during their time in the Inquisitor Grendel's warband in the fight for Atoma. So if you've been playing this for thousands of hours like some of us, you will have to click this many, many, many times. Which is good. Again, retroactive rewards are pretty decent. It means your progress isn't just completely wiped out. The Path of Redemption currently has 45 tiers, although more tiers are planned to be added. The freshly embarked rewards include a collection of portrait frames, insignia, end-of-round poses, emotes, trinkets, weapon skins, backpacks, and character cosmetics, like the Loyalist Mobian 6th armor. Further, it's exciting to reveal that the outfit showcase in the trailers and cinematics will be accessible through the Path of Redemption. These are commonly referred to as the Darktide 7 Zola's most trusted strike team armor. So yeah. And then we have a new enemy, as we said in the last video, the Dread-Tox Bomber. Added the Dread-Tox Bomber enemy to the Dread faction. The Dread-Tox Bomber throws blight grenades that explode into clouds of gas. Basically, had the blight grenade from Vermintide 2. Gas clouds. There you go. The gas also buffs enemies, which makes them tougher to kill and harder to cleave through. So the gas also doesn't just hurt us, it buffs the enemy. That's cool. Mission changes. Oh, what have we got here? Mission puzzles. Each mission now includes a martyr's skull that players can obtain by solving a challenge, which may occasionally require assistance from other operatives. Successful extraction with a martyr's skull will result in the completion of a penance linked to that mission. Moreover, players will receive a small bonus of plastil the first time they successfully complete the challenge or when they assist a fellow player who hasn't previously completed it. Heretical idols in missions. Each mission now contains a hidden heretical idol in a set of random locations. They can be discovered to progress new penances and also get a small bonus of plastil for each destruction. That's pretty cool. Mission type changes. Change the primary objective of some missions to better match their overarching objective. This will put the amount of available missions per type to between 2 and 3. Exercise Vault Spearside 13 changed from Raid to Investigation. Ascension Riser 31 changed from Raid to Strike. Smelter Complex HL 1736 from Strike to Repair. Developer note: we wanted to bring a better balanced distribution to the primary objective types, and for some missions to be more sorry, it's a bit blurred there. More intuitively linked to what players do throughout them. This change should also help penances such as Ominous Eye's Hand. New final objective and mission giver treatment for Heb Draco. We always felt that the story of the Simple Collection and the Phage Tree in Heb Draco wasn't really told as well as it could have been. So we decided to revisit the experience. There's now a new story being told by the mission givers, featuring some new characters including Sister Hestia, Prine, and representatives from both House Margrave and House Barquette. Tertium Rulings class, and a new type of interrogator called a Biotic Probe, featuring a new minigame. Oh, goody. Ug's going to be happy about that. Additionally, the Phage Tree area features some thematic sound and graphical updates, as well as a tweak to intensity and gameplay. That should be quite interesting. New special conditions. Pox Gas. A new special condition, Pox Gas, is now available on the mission terminal. These special conditions change the mission to have more of a green Nurgle gas look, and adds Pox Gas clouds in the mission that freely float. The Pox Gas clouds have a similar effect on players and enemies as the Dread-Tox Bomber Gas, where the buffed enemies and apply corruption to players. Additionally, med stims will appear throughout the mission to help counter the Pox Gas effects. Low intensity and high intensity versions have also been added. Additionally, 2 Maelstrom missions have been added with this condition. Maelstrom mission E137, Waves of Specialist Leaks, Pot Gas, Nurgle's Blessing. Enemies have a chance to get a buff that makes them tougher, only Dread factions, and increase patrols. And Maelstrom J124, Waves of Specialist Enemies, Pox Gas, Monstrous Specials, chance that specials become weak monstrosities and snipers. Sorry, there's a lot here to get through. Personality Scourge. This is a new feature. A new feature has been introduced to the Barber Surgeon, known as the Personality Scourge. This procedure offers players the opportunity to alter all facets of their operative from the character creation, class being the only exception. This novel service for the rejects stems from a joint venture undertaken by Crowl and blah blah blah, founded blah 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 blah. Story, don't really care. There's a necessary of a 50,000 auto docket fee, so it costs 50,000 to do it, which isn't awful. Given that this operation demands the valuable Prismata crystals, players will occasionally have Crowl and Severus join them via comlink during the Ascension Riser mission to guarantee the unimpeded interception of the crystal consignment. Height changes. Players can now change their operative height at the Barber Surgeon when using Modify Appearance or as part of the new Personality Scourge. Player titles. Titles are a new reward type displayed as extra text underneath the character player's name in their nameplate. Both in the world and in the HUD, titles are awarded through completing penances and advancing the penance track by default. Titles are visible in missions and they have colours that match their rarity. Title colours and visibility in missions can be changed in the options menu under the interface section for players who prefer less elements on the screen. Of course, a big one this is. Additional changes and quality of life features. Tactical overlay tracking of penances and contracts. Added functionality to the tactical overlay for players to track all of their weekly contracts as well as up to 5 penances. Players must select within the new penance menu what to track. The tactical overlay display is now also available in the Morningstar. Developer note. The tactical overlay can currently only be called up in the Morningstar while using keyboard. A solution for gamepad support is being worked on and will arrive in a future patch. Penance chat messages. Added a chat notification when a player or strike team member earns a penance. Celebrate the accomplishment and represent together. No, I don't think I will. Sire Malik's contract changes. When players join the Morningstar after a new weekly contract have been introduced, they will now receive an in-game notification and their operative will automatically accept these contracts. This means players no longer have to engage in a conversation with Sire Malik in order to begin progressing their contracts when the player joins the Morningstar after a contract has been fulfilled. They will receive an in-game notification and the reward will be automatically collected. Voice modulation UI indicators. Cosmetic items that alter an operative's voice will now have a small icon on the item preview title, as well as a clarifying text in the details. Fair enough. All seem like decent tweaks so far. Item rarity. Additionally, items will now display rarities that includes portrait frames, insignia, emotes, end-of-round poses, trinkets, weapon skins, and of course the new titles. Developer note. Previously, only the wearable cosmetic displayed rarity. We wanted to add this to the rest of the earnable items players can equip, including players might already have obtained. Aura buff icon in HUD. Added a new buff category among the icons in the HUD for aura buffs. This setting can be toggled from the options menu. Player assist notifications. Added a user setting to show a message when players are assisted, such as being revived or rescued by players. This setting can be toggled. Combat feed settings. Added user settings to control the message shown in combat feeds, such as turning it on or off, adjust message duration, and choose to show additional types of notifications in the feed. Default values are set to the previously unchangeable settings, turned on max 8 message and 5-second durations. Oh dear, now we're getting into the balancing. This is the real meat and potatoes of it, I think. Okay, we'll start off with the Ogren. The damage reduction granted by the Feel No Pain keystone combined with the high amount of toughness being replenished by Smash 'em and the best defense talent made Ogrins extremely tanky in both melee and ranged engagements with just a small talent point investment. Stacks of Feel No Pain will now be removed also by taking toughness damage, but will also regenerate much more quickly, pushing Ogrins who only rely on face tanking hits. Oh, punishing Ogrins, okay. Conversely, several underperforming talents on the right side of the tree were buffed, rewarding Ogren players more for continuing down the same side. I'm very sorry, I'm reading this like an idiot. Feel No Pain. Stacks will now be removed upon taking any kind of damage, and not only when taking health damage. Added a 1-second grace period after a stack is removed, where additional stacks cannot be lost. Reduced the stack's recharge cooldown from 6 seconds to 3. Changed the toughness damage reduction bonus from being active to multiplicative. Developer notes. This means that the bonus will have diminishing returns when combined with other toughness damage reduction effects. The best defense, toughness replenishment from 25% to 20. Smash 'em, toughness replenishment 25 to 20. Dominate, rending on elite kill from 15 to 10. Trample, damage dealt increased per enemy hit in bull rush. And Indomitable from 1% to 2. Mobile in placement. Damage reduction while bracing from 15 to 20. Okay. It's the only buff so far. Steady grip. Toughness regeneration while bracing from 2% to 3%. Burst limiter override. Chance to trigger from 5% to 8. More burst limiter overdrives. Chance to trigger from 8 to 12. Okay. Now for the veteran. Executioner stance, cooldown from 35 seconds to 30. Marksman's focus, grace time on weak spot kill from 3 seconds to 6. Grace time on weak spot hit from 1 second to 3. Tunnel vision, toughness replenishment per stack from 2.5 to 5. Tactical reload speed from 20 to 25. Out for blood, toughness replenishment on kill from 3.5 to 5. Scavenger and survivalist added a 5-second cooldown. So the veteran's basically been buffed apart from Scavenger and Survivalist, which has had a short cooldown added. Right, the Psyker. Disrupt Destiny. Made improvements to how and when the targets are selected. Stacks now fall off one by one, similar to warp charges granted by Warp Siphon. Duration has been changed from 15 seconds to 4. That's a big change. Lingering Influence. Disrupt Destiny duration from 30 seconds to 10. Perfectionism. Disrupt Destiny max stacks from 30 to 25. Scryer's Gaze. Cooldown from 30 to 25 seconds. Empowered Psionics. Increased base damage of assail. Aimed attacks from 200 to 225. Increased smite damage bonus from 125 to 200. Kinetic Presence. Damage against elite enemies from 5% to 7.5. And now for the Zealot. Inexorable Judgment, duration from 8 seconds to 6, max stacks from 20 to 15. Stun Grenade, duration from 6 seconds to 8, base radius from 7 to 8. Infectious Zeal, shared critical hit chance from 33% of Blazing Piety to 66%. A 5% effective crit chance to 10%. Okay? So that's got a nice little bit of a crit buff there. And there is a whole page of penance balancing, which I'm not going to go through because there's about 200 of them. And then there's just some general changes which we will cover, just the weapons and the enemies. Fixed an issue where the attack strength type for the Trotsky Heavy Sword Mark 6 second attack and the Trotsky Heavy Sword Mark 7 first attack in the heavy attack chain was incorrectly set to light instead of heavy. Fixed an issue where toughness replenishment on melee kill bonus from the Ogryn's Unstoppable talent was lower than intended. And fixed an issue where the ability cooldown of Scryer's Gaze could not be reduced while the ability was active. Enemies. Fixed a case where Rager type enemies could end up running in place. Fixed so airlock doors don't close if enemies are inside the airlock. Increased stagger threshold for Crushers, Borks, Plague Ogrins, and Chaos Spawns. Made Scab Dreg Rager combo attacks dodgeable, and reduced the stun from their attack. And added a slightly faster light stagger animation. Not sure what to, it doesn't say. Removed possibility to spawn big packs of Borks as patrols, reduced amount that can spawn simultaneously as roamers. Removed the force field in front of bulwarks that allowed them to block hit shots that didn't look like they would be blocked by their shield. Increased health by 33% and set lower stagger resistance during attack animations. I'm assuming they mean bulwarks because they don't actually add a quantifier on the end of most of these. And there's just a lot of bug fixes and what not. So, hell of a lot of changes. Let's see if there is any outfits or anything that they've added today.
Hello, stranger.
Probably won't be because they don't add them till Thursdays, but
Legend in the making.
yeah, there we go. So this is where you'll be spending most of your time when you come in, going through this and seeing what penances you need to do. And claiming this if you've been playing for a while. There's an awful lot of them. That's a nice backpack. I like that. And then you go through, and so I'll probably get to here. Let's have a look what else you can claim. That's funky. So it goes up to 4,500 for, you know, your penance points. So yeah, lots and lots of changes.
You will triumph. I just know.
I am a
Let's see anything
lodestone for blockheads today.
over the contract. It'd be nice if they actually upgraded this the Sire Milk rewards and things, but I suppose you can't have everything at the same time, can we? There you go, folks. That is the new update, and I've completely forgot the name for it. Path of Redemption. There you go. That is Path of Redemption. So hopefully you guys have some fun with it. It's the first big patch we've had this year, and yeah, hope to see you all in the game. If you've enjoyed today's video, please like, subscribe, and the little bell for notifications. It really does help us out. And if you fancy it, click on that join button and see where it leads you. It leads to fabulous prizes. That's where it leads you. So anyway, enjoy the Path of Redemption. Hopefully I'll see you in game. So thanks very much for watching. I shall see you all later.